Hello and welcome to the Diabetes Army Rebuild podcast. My name is Dan. I'm a type 2 diabetic, actually a type 2 diabetic in remission. But for many, many years, I had type 2 diabetes. My story is basically I had type 2 diabetes. I was on over 7,000 units of insulin a month. I gained 150 pounds. I have since lost 140 of that and have created this channel to try to get some awareness happening, some positivity happening, and to get people healthier. I own the Unity Wellness Group. We work a lot with type 2 diabetics, getting them to a healthy position and try to steer people off of meds and things like that. So these are short 10-minute podcasts that I do. This week we are talking about omega-3s, and this is really, really interesting. So I'm sure we've all heard of, fish oil capsules and things like this as far as omega-3s go. And in case you're wondering if it has any effect on type 2 diabetes, yes, I found a peer-reviewed study that actually talks about that. So that's what we're going to have a discussion about today. So this is the effect of omega-3s and the risk of type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, et cetera, et cetera. And, there's a lot of talk about this floating around. Are they good for you? Are they not good for you? What's the real story with them? So let's dig in. And again, I'm not basing my podcast on bro science. This is actual peer-reviewed studies. So a total of 67 prospective studies comprised of 310,955 participants. That's a big chunk of people were put under studies to see the situation with omega-3s in these diseases. So a significant inverse association with type 2 diabetes risk was observed by people taking this. So, and it's the marine origin omega-3 fatty acids that were used. So there's a couple of different ones you can take, but these would be, I guess, classified as the fish oil ones are the ones that you want to get a hold of. So it says a higher concentration of marine-derived omega-3 were used. They significantly reduced the risk of cardiovascular disease, heart disease, and total mortality. So if you're considering taking one of these, this might be something to look at as far as a supplement goes. And I'll get into what my protocols are after we run through the results. And it says that taking the omega-3 is maintaining an overall risk of developing cardiovascular disease and premature death. So, this is what we're looking for. We want to live longer, healthier, and happier. And when it comes to supplements, we want to make sure that we are taking the right things. So the science tells us of these 310,000 people that were studied during this study, that in all aspects, it came out in a positive direction. So, do I take it? Yes, this is something I take every morning, and you need to do your research on omega-3s. There are some on the market that will have fillers in them and things like that, so you think you're getting a lot of the omega-3 fatty acids, but in fact, you're not. What's happening is you're getting a lot of fillers, therefore you've got to take twice as much. So do your homework as far as which ones you use. I personally use Momentous. I'm not sponsored by them. I think they do a really good job with their supplements. They're partnered with many of the NFL teams, and they're third-party tested. And I think that's the whole thing with supplements. You've really got to find places or supplements that are third-party tested. So it's a part of my routine. I took them, I stopped taking them, and then I started taking them. I want to say I've been using them for maybe a year now, something like that. I take them every morning with whatever other medications I've been taking, right? And it's been a big part of my health play. As I mentioned, I gained 150 pounds on insulin, and I changed some things in my life to put some protocols in place to try to bring my weight down, my insulin sensitivity down, and everything else that goes with it. And that's what I did. Of course, I am not a medical professional, right? Always work with your doctor. I want to make that clear. I'm telling you what's worked for me over the years and how I'm reversing or putting my type 2 diabetes in remission. And this is one of the supplements that I'm using to do it. In future podcasts, we'll talk about some of the other supplements that I'm also using. But again, you need to partner with your doctor, and more importantly, your doctor needs to be living in 2024. You don't want a doctor that's still prescribing you things that are based on the old food pyramid, right? At that point, just get up and walk out of the office if that's where you're at. That's my advice to you. Get a second opinion. You always need to get a couple of opinions if you don't like where you're at. Remember, your doctor works for you. You don't work for your doctor, so you're not married to the doctor. You need to make sure you're dialed in with a medical professional who knows what they're talking about. So, I pulled this study. This was done by Hong Jiang, Lina Wang, Dualo Wang, Ni Yang, Chao Li. So there's a number of people on this study, and I got this off of PubMed. So, we want to look at people that have done studies that actually have proof of what's working and what's not working, right? Let's dispel some of the rumors that we hear about different things. Yeah, this is supposed to work good. This isn't supposed to work good, whatever the situation is. But these apparently work really well, and not just with type 2 diabetes, but a number of other things. So if you have something that's working with a number of things and you're okay with taking supplements, and now I know a lot of people aren't, and that's fine, it's your prerogative. But if you are, this is one that looks to be pretty good. I personally take it, again, I take it every morning, whether I'm in the gym or not in the gym. There's a lot of things I take on gym days that I don't take on other days. However, this is one I'm consistent with all the way across. I travel a lot between Canada and the U.S., so what I do is I have them in my house in Los Angeles, and then I have them actually shipped to me in Canada as well. I want to be completely prepared either way, wherever I'm at, to do it. And if I'm going to do any traveling, say in Canada, and I'm already up there, it's hard crossing borders. I don't like crossing borders with supplements and things. I like to just leave them in the country I got them from. What I'll do is I'll just do my little pill cases, of course, and I'll just take those with me so that I'm set to go every day. I don't like to get up in the morning and have to think about what do I need here, there, and everywhere. I just have it already set. That's my routine in the morning. Take it, boom, go. I don't have to think about it. But I do think about when I'm laying them out and things like that. And I do a lot of study before I'll take any sort of a supplement. One of the things with the Momentous brand is you apparently, and I don't know, I haven't experienced this. However, a lot of people don't like omega-3s because of the fishy taste after, right? With these supplements, you don't really get that, so I haven't had any issues with it. I've had no fishy taste after and things like that. However, anything that's going to work for me, I'm happy to take a look at. And then, even if it's proven scientifically to work, does it work with you? And I think that's the thing. And I think you have to look and see if it's going to work for you, because maybe you're the odd case where it doesn't. But in my situation, I'm putting some faith in the fact that they've done all these studies. These have been proven out to been really good for type 2 diabetics, as long as heart disease, cardiovascular disease, and mortality in general. So, I'm happy to jump in on something like that. So, again, not bro science. These are actual studies that have been done, and when you're talking about over 300,000 people involved in a study, they've done their homework on it. So there's the story on omega-3s. Again, there's a lot floating around if they're good, if they're not good. I'd say the big thing is to make sure whichever ones you get are legit. Like, really, if you can find a company that's got third-party tested, that's what you want to look for, right? We want to make sure that we're getting clean supplements, and they're not with a bunch of fillers in them, that we're paying for stuff that we're going to have to double or triple up because of the fact that they look big, but they're really not. So I would do my homework. I told you what I take. You can take whatever you want, but I'm telling you, these things seem to have proven out over actual peer-reviewed studies, and I wouldn't hesitate, in my case, to take them. I would consult your doctor, make sure you have this conversation with them, and then just sort of take it from there. I thank you for watching. Please share this with someone who you think might get some value out of it. We're doing these 10-minute podcasts all the way along. I release them every week, and if we can get somebody else healthy, who's better than us? Let's create some positivity. Let's create some awareness, and let's make reversing type 2 diabetes cool. Please follow me on social media. I stream a lot, live stream on TikTok when I'm doing cardio, and my Instagram page is very, very active. If you want to send me a message, highly recommend doing it on my Instagram page. Please, if you can give me a thumbs up on this podcast or a rating, I'd love it, and I really, really appreciate it, so we can get more of this stuff out into the market. Thank you so much for joining me. My name is Dan. This is the Diabetes Army Rebuild Podcast, and I really appreciate you being here.